Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Channel 31, Beat TV, and this is Q Weekly. I hope you've all had a fantastic week, because in our fine community it has been the Pride Awards this week. And this week, to talk about the Pride Awards and other gay news, is the fabulous Gill Sotiropoulos from Human Resources. So if you're a human and you need a resource, there's your man. How are you, Jim?
Not too bad, thanks, Linzi.
That's good. And also Mr. Chris Gill from the Victorian Gay and Lesbian Rights Lobby, and proud owner of a Pride Award.
Indeed.
Indeed. Have you drunk it yet?
No, it's going to be drunk at the next committee meeting. We'll pass it round ceremonially with little polystyrene cups.
Oh, no. It needs Stuart Crystal, darling. Stuart Crystal for that one. And, of course, the fabulous Tim Hunter, who just does everything.
Oh, apparently.
Yeah, you do. You get yourself around. Sorry, I spoke over you then. I didn't know you were going to add a little something. Now, this week has been big. We were talking earlier. We won't go into the Pride Awards just yet, because that was, bigger than Ben-Hur and all these brothers and sisters. But gay games are coming up very shortly. And any of you guys involved in the games, or swimming, running?
I'll be offering up my quiet support from the couch.
Are you?
Yeah.
All right, well, that's good. They'll need that. And Jim, no? No. Is anybody going?
Yes.
You are?
I am.
Fantastic.
I'm actually going not to participate in the games, but there's a cultural festival that runs alongside the gay games, and I'm going up for that. I'm doing a playwriting workshop. So that'll be fun, but yeah, you have to, going up for the whole opening ceremony and closing ceremony and stuff. So.
And is there, because I'm not totally au fait with the games yet, and I really should be, but is there the mandatory dance party later where they let their hair down? And
how many dance parties do we have? We've got the opening night dance party, we've got a girls' dance party, a boys' dance party, a sunset dance party, a pool dance party, and the closing night farewell dance party. Did you want any more?
$100 a pop.
I'll be at every one, of course. Of course.
Some people are actually going up just for the parties. They're not participating, they're just going up for the parties.
Well, I guess it's sort of showing their support in the true gay way, if you can't. And Chris, if I can get back to you, the award, how does it really feel, and how did your group respond to that? Because, it is big to be acknowledged by the community.
Well, last year's Pride Awards was interrupted by an announcement from Parliament House that law reform had passed the upper house.
That's
and
correct.
So there was a moment of intense emotion last year, and in fact the law reform took a lot of people a long time. We're talking about work pretty consistently since 1997 and even before that. So I think it was great that the lobby won an award. I'm a little bit leery about singling out individuals, but I think that the fact that an organisation won an award for that kind of work is appropriate.
And it's very important work too that your group does do, because it is a tough slog, and I think that like anybody that gets involved with a community group, it usually is a passion that you have. So we could assume that your passion, or one of your passions, would be human rights. Would that be?
Yeah, I think that's fair, but at the same time, it's like my involvement in the Gay and Lesbian Rights Lobby, it's a selfish thing. I want a fair deal for myself and my friends. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm involved. It's not sort of Mother Teresa stuff. I'm quite selfish about this. I'm doing it for me and my mates.
Good. Well, that's honest, isn't it? You heard it first on Big TV. And if we may just draw attention to the T-shirt.
It's a Space Invader.
Space Invader.
Nice.
It's nice. It is nice. Unusual, yes. Yeah. And did you buy that here? Because I thought it was... well, I wasn't really quite sure what it was. and it took a while for it to sink in, because I haven't seen those little critters in years.
Well, it's an old thing and it's a good thing. I'd like to think like me. But I also think that, this is us, this is our community, removing the obstacles one by one, and he's got rid of one here and this one's on the way out, and we're up to here with law reform. And eventually we'll get rid of all of these obstacles, and then we can advance to the next level.
So hopefully each month these things do happen. We can see more your little yellow dots on your T-shirt.
I'll get the scalpel out.
Good boy. And what about... Oh, sorry, Tim.
No, I was just going to say, I never realised that Space Invaders had such a political agenda.
Well... Maybe I was drunk when I bought it, but that's what I saw.
Now, Jim, you've worked for the VAC and you moved on to Human Resources, and I'm not quite sure when that happened because I haven't seen you for some time.
It has been a while.
Yeah.
About a year and a half ago,
Mm-hmm.
it was time to do something different. But now I feel it's important to get back into the community and start doing things that I'm passionate about, and hopefully get involved with community groups that are passionate about what they do. So again, a good theme to come in on around the Pride Awards, and that people working together for a common cause or many common causes. So yeah, it's just about being able to see what's important to me and those around me, and get involved.
And you sort of find too, because I sort of took a short time away, and in many ways you do miss it. I think, we all have our lives, but I think, I've met people in, various community groups that drive buses or work in a factory, but their community work is just outstanding. I guess it's, for people at Bent TV, they might not be able to, or Channel 31 for that matter, they might not be able to get into Channel 10 or whatever, but it's a really good sounding board, and something like we say, you're passionate about it and you can move things forward. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Thank you.
Now, back to the awards. We actually have some footage of this year's awards. I'm not going to say who it is because for all you people out there who are after something a little different, we have some of the best blokes in town for you now taken to the stage. So sit back, relax, sip on your cup of tea and watch this. Look at these drag kings.
Outstanding. I thought they were a highlight of the night, actually, for energy, for creativity, for the amount of preparation and work they put into the show is just extraordinary. It's one of the best cross-dressing shows I've seen ever.
And it's interesting too because in our culture we're so used to drag queens, aren't we? Men dressing up as women, and now it's the women doing the doing the whole bit. And it's interesting too to see. Oh, there we are again. There's it's interesting to see that there were a couple of femi girls. Now, our own Amy from Bent TV's in there somewhere. Oh, there she is there. Can you see her? That's our little Amy there.
It was pretty raunchy too.
Yeah. And what do you guys think? I mean, this must be quite confronting to see.
Oh, look, it's actually, I find it really refreshing to actually see, sort of girls getting up there and taking the piss out of blokes. Because, I mean, we're so used to sort of drag queens sort of, parodying, sort of females and the feminine thing and the whole sort of ladies thing. It's actually really nice to sort of see, the other side of it and sort of, see, I mean, I mean, people like Trevor Forever and MC Mother Beeper and, I say that word, I don't know.
We can say fucker. Motherfucker MC.
I found it educational too because I've always found heterosexual men to be something of a mystery.
And there they are. But one of the things was, like, when I was a very young little diclot, I read a book and it was called Strangers on Lesbos. And one of the big things in that book was actually women in a gay bar, and they were really butch because they were wearing jeans with fly fronts, Now, the author of that book, and that was from the 50s, I think. Now, if she could see this, I don't know whether she'd be proud or horrified.
But it's great because, I mean, I've seen some of the drag king, like the heats, and people are there, they're singing, they're performing, they're really getting into it. It's not just miming.
Yeah.
It's not, it's a real package. It really takes talent, and I think it's fantastic.
Exactly. And I think too for people out there, because we do have a lot of people, straight people in our audience, it's another part of our culture that's new to us, and also for them too. And no doubt we will see straight women out there, instead of all straight men dressing up like Rocky Horror, maybe the straight women might start wearing little moustaches and things, who knows?
And I love some of the suits.
Well, I actually have a friend who tried to pick up a lesbian one night because she looked so much like a boy.
Okay.
She was, looked like a young man. But they are very good. And look at that.
Or the gymnastics.
Have you ever?
Yeah.
Top marks, I reckon, highlight of the night.
Yes. Yeah, well, look, we actually... Kieran and I, my partner Kieran and I, were doing Better Homes and Gay Boys on Joy that night, on the night of the Pride Awards, so we couldn't be there. But we had Brett Hayhoe from Joy coming out every now and again doing live crosses, and he was sort of saying, look, the drag kings are just fantastic and stuff. And so, look, that was, that sort of, it was actually...
Well, we hope you all enjoyed that because, as you can tell, we most certainly did. At this point, well, I'd really love to thank Stephen King along with the rest of the community for providing that footage, but also being there on the night to film. And I'm sorry, Stephen, I didn't have the opportunity to do whatever on the night, but as you can imagine, it is a tough ask some nights. If you are the winner of the award, or perhaps not, but you would like a record for your own archives of the evening, videos are available at $25, DVDs at $35, And you can call, grab a pen while you're sipping your tea and also having a bit of a scratch of your head or whatever you're doing while you're watching us. The number is 1800 684 283. Or use the email service, which is prideawards at it's our old Pride Awards address, prideawards@kingwest.com.au.
And the awards themselves were a bottle of French liqueur mounted on a wooden plinth, which I thought was singly appropriate. It was like a well-mounted fancy liquor.
And many a woman out there would like to meet one of those, no doubt too, Chris. Tim Hunter, it is time for your review.
It is, yes. Now, playing around town at the moment is a film called Walking on Water, which is an Australian film, as you might already know, directed by Melbourne-based director Tony Ayres, who's done China Dolls and Sadness and various other sort of television things for SBS and the ABC and stuff. This is his feature debut, and it's actually a really good film. I mean, you know, it's easy to sort of say, oh, it's a really good film, but it's actually quite a good film. It deals with a group of friends who are trying very hard to deal with the death of one of their friends who's just died from AIDS. And it stars Vince Colosimo, it stars Maria Theodorakis, and David Bonney, who plays the man who dies at the beginning of the film. But what is interesting, I suppose, is to see how the characters actually sort of deal or not deal with the death of this man. It was sort of like he was like the glue that sort of held them all together. So you've got all these people just behaving badly, which is actually quite interesting. The family comes up from I think South Australia to Sydney to help with the funeral, and Mum's trying really hard to help, and Maria Theodorakis, you can't say that too quickly. Nice. Her character Anna has sort of got everything under control, and Mum's trying to sort of say, "Can I do something?" And she's saying, "No, it's all under control," and it's. And that's kind of, you know, heartbreaking for Mum, because she desperately wants to be part of, you know, that's part of her grief, and she just can't do it. Vince Colosimo, who plays Frank, who is his best friend, just doesn't know how to deal with it, because he actually has a bit of a hand in helping, you know, sort of David Bonney's character die. And everyone just sort of kind of falls apart, and they all sort of try and deal with death, or not, you know, sort of not deal with it in various ways. They go off and have, you know, sort of, you know, sex. They get, you know, go on drinking binges. They do this and that, and they try and find each other sort of within, you know, and find how their relationships are sort of going to continue once you know, sort of once they get through this grieving situation. Vince Colosimo is actually really quite interesting as a gay character. Some people I've heard have said, "Oh, I don't know whether he's entirely convincing." I think he's actually quite good, because he plays a Greek man who is gay, who doesn't necessarily, you know, isn't really out and you know, girly and campy and queeny, which is kind of good. So look, I give it 3 Dixie cups. 3 Dixie cups?
Yes. And what about tissue boxes? Is there a need for a tissue box there?
There is actually,
there
yes.
Is,
yeah. It does get quite moving at times. There's some very funny times as well, but it does get a bit sort of bit sad. So there you go.
There you go. And it's showing at very quickly?
The Nova.
Oh, the Nova.
And the Kino.
And the Kino. Oh, yes. At all those fabulous places where we really like going. Now, this, guys, on a very serious note, this was actually in MCV, and it is a media release from the Victorian Police. It's with regard to sexual assault that occurred back in March, on March 28 in the year 2002, which is this year, at approximately 10 p.m. The male victim was walking, entered the gardens. As he walked in the park, he was spoken to by a male and noticed 2 other males in the general area. The victim and the first man walked off to a secluded section of the park. A short time later, the other 2 men approached them. It was then that the first man grabbed the victim and held him while the other 2 men sexually assaulted him. I don't know if we can get a close-up on that. That face there, and I don't even know whether we're really allowed to do that, so if we suddenly cut, please. But if you could please, if you know anything about this crime, please, and you don't particularly want to go to the police even, please call our own lesbian and gay and lesbian police liaison unit under the very helpful guidance of Melinda Edwards. We will be back very, very shortly with Q Weekly. Please watch our sponsors and support them, because they support us. We'll see you real soon. Backbeat TV viewers, this is Q Weekly on your favourite station, Channel 31. We are joined by a very special guest this evening, both Jim and Chris and myself. We've been joined by the fabulous Ruth Katerelos. How are you, Ruth?
I'm well, thank you.
You're well. And you are a singer. You're one of my very favourite style of singers, because I always figure it is so hard and so brave for a person to sit or stand on a stage with a guitar and nothing else. It must be harrowing.
Absolutely. I'm actually relatively new at it too, so yeah, I've found it all pretty nerve-wracking.
And how long have you been doing it, so to speak?
I've been singing for a lot of years, but I've only actually been accompanying myself for about the last maybe 18 months. I've been doing a few gigs out and about, and writing songs for probably about the last 12 years. Yeah.
Heaven. And I was actually reading in your bio and that you went through a very, very tough period a few years ago where you lost 4 people in your life. Yeah. And one of the things that we do hear about artists is that tragedy generally sort of sparks something, whether it be spiritually, emotionally, that assists with the work or gives them a bit of a boost.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, I think I lost 3 people who were very close to me in a short space of time, and then the 4th person was my partner of 5.5 years at the time, and I'd written a few songs before then, but after those deaths, songs started to come. There's a lot of emotional stuff, and probably a lot of my music has got quite an emotional tone to it. But it definitely set things up for me. Yeah.
And we see too that you're an actress or actor. I think we say actor these days. Is that PC? And Reiki, psychologist or psychiatrist? Or?
Psychologist, yeah. I started as a drama dance teacher, and then basically did some professional acting, and then this period of my life with all the death and stuff happened, and I didn't have the energy to sell myself as an actor, understandably. Yeah. And then I started studying psychology as a reason to get out of bed, and just kept going. Just finished my masters a couple of years ago, and now I'm, putting another finger in another pie.
Excellent. Do you two play an instrument or sing or?
Only one, but I don't talk about it.
You're very naughty, Chris. We might make you, actually. Jim, you don't indulge in?
Perhaps the same one, but not Chris.
The same one, but not Chris. We're very pleased to hear that. Very pleased to hear that. Now, just also, Ruth has released a CD which you would have just seen a small little grab of, and it's an EP, I believe.
Yep, 6 songs.
6 songs?
Yeah.
And it's released independently?
It is. Essentially, I've just got it out. Hares and Hyenas, you can get it from, and the Last Bookshop in Smith Street, and Rhythm and Views up in High Street, Northcote. So, it's a matter of essentially just getting out and flogging it myself.
So being a performer like yourself, you no doubt have to have marketing skills, sales skills, those amazing communication. Like, please put my CD in your shop.
Good knees. Yeah. I'm starting to learn some of that. I mean, actually promoting. I've never been particularly good at self-promotion, but there's no real option. You kind of have to get out there and learn. So
to do it, yeah. It is. It's a tough ask, and available at we said Hares and Hyenas, and all those places. So please grab yourself a copy, and it's also very important to support our local talent, isn't it? Absolutely. Out there. Now we have our roving reporter Peter O'Gravy. Sorry, Peter. It's Mr. Peter O'Gravy, direct from you from the county of Steak. But he was out at the Possing Living Centre. And I have to read this because it was an interactive event which was hosted by the fabulous Vanessa Wagner of Celebrity Big Brother. So here's Peter and Vanessa at, it was an interactive, and it's an interactive event footage. So for your watching pleasure, here it is.
Hostess with the mostess, and she's here at the Positive Living Centre today to look at drug dilemmas. Now, what is drug dilemmas all about?
It's a continuation of interactive edutainment here.
Edutainment?
It's a combination of education and entertainment. And essentially, today's forum is about discussing in an interesting and exciting way people's relationships with their HIV and the drug regimes that they may or may not be on. So we're trying to cover topics such as structured treatment breaks, or drug holidays, as some people like to call them, and any issues surrounding treatments that people may have. So we ask questions. We have health professionals like doctors and psychologists and nurses to give people some advice and to interact basically.
How do you make information like drug use and drug holidays in glamorous? Because it's a fairly sober topic. What do you do to make it entertaining?
Well, usually cheap fart jokes never go astray.
Always works for me.
It's a difficult question, and it's hard to answer. But generally, we try to keep things light-hearted, and in no way does that take away from the seriousness of what's being discussed. But essentially, it's about having a good time and looking at the bright side of things. Now, I know that's hard to say if someone's got diarrhoea and has peripheral neuropathy and has, is rejecting the drugs that they're taking, but as difficult as it is for some people, we also like to show encouragement and support.
It's a bit like education through laughter and...
Pretty much so. I mean, it's an evil combination. If you can get people laughing and learning, then, to me that's nirvana. My general workload has increased, and particularly the charity workload. At times I do wake up and think, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah.
Slapping on a face, clacking around. But at the end of the day, for me, the most exciting thing, and I think what gives me the desire to continue my work, is the feedback I get from people after forums, and the satisfaction and the help and the encouragement that I see on people's faces.
Thank you very much, Peter, for that roving report. And the fabulous Vanessa Wagner is one of my favourite performers because it's really outspoken about the AIDS, HIV issue and things like that. But I also need to mention that the next interactive event with Vanessa will be held in early December. So keep an eye out for that one, and of course stay tuned to Beat TV, because straight after Q Weekly tonight we have the fabulous Susie Malhotra chatting with Vanessa's alter ego Tobin Saunders on Face to Face. So please stay tuned for that one. Now, without much further ado, I would like to welcome once again our special guest Ruth, who is going to sing live for you, and the song is called Babies Crying. Thank you, Ruth.
Baby's crying, hurts me to my soul. Baby's crying, just what I really know. Baby's crying, hurts me to my soul. Baby's crying, just what I don't really know, but I want to.
along and doing that
It's a
for
pleasure.
us. Now, you've heard a sample of Ruth's work. We want you to all get out there and buy the CD and of course, support our local talent. And if do you have any gigs on in the near future you'd like to plug while you're on the telly?
I'm doing one at Ease at the Revolver on the October the 15th, and I'm also doing the Darabin Festival on the 27th of October.
Fantastic. We'll all be there. Now, thank you very much to Jim Sotiropoulos from Human Resources, Department of Human Resources, Chris Gill, proud winners of Victorian Gay and Lesbian Lobby, proud winners of a Pride Award. And it's good night from me, Q Weekly, Big TV, Channel 31. Stay tuned and for Face to Face. See you all next week.